China Smith, what was that?
China Smith, Dan Duryea. Oh, gosh, what a sweet man. What a darling, darling, sweet man. That's really all I remember of it. It was, let me say about all of these shows, except for things like the Ezio Pinza special or the Ray Bolger special, they all kind of melt one into the other because they were all pretty much the same. They just had different leading characters. It was a mystery, and he solved, problems, and, it would all work out in the end, and they'd get the bad guy, that sort of thing. So this didn't stand out in my memory. It was a job. A lot of them were just jobs. It was pay the rent. And China Smith was certainly one of those shows. Great title, though, now that I think of it. What a wonderful title for a name for a character.
And GE Theater's Cat with the Crimson Eyes.
I don't even. If I had to swear on a Bible in court, I'd be sent to jail. I don't remember that. Cat with the Crimson Eyes? Who was in that?
I don't have a star on that one.
Well,
but I do for Ford Theater's Wonderful Day for a Wedding. Joan Leslie, Scott Brady, Spring Byington.
Oh, my goodness. I just barely remember that. I remember mostly Joan Leslie being so sweet and so darling. And I remember Scott Brady being a very scary guy. He was very scary. Well, he had a reputation. He drank a lot, and he got into fistfights and all. He was Hollywood's bad boy at the time. And I remember I don't remember the show, but I remember he came on to me, and he scared the hell out of me. I just ran the other way. But that's all I remember of that one.
Broken Arrow, 20th Century Fox Hour.
That was based on the movie that I think Fox did also with, was that Jeff Chandler? Who was in
I think
that?
you're right.
And
Ricardo
Deborah Paget. Yes, and Ricardo played an American Indian. There you go again. Nobly and bravely, but he shouldn't have been playing that role. Nor should I have been playing an Indian maiden, but I did. I don't have great memories of that, only in the sense that it was just one more of those kind of parts. And here was the problem when you played Indian maidens. What kind of an accent do you have? So, it always ended up being sort of a Spanish accent. I didn't know what to do. So you talk like this, and you sort of don't try not to sound too Hispanic, but you certainly don't try to sound too American. I don't know. I look at American Indian people now, Native Americans, and they talk like Texans. They do. The people from Oklahoma talk like people from Oklahoma. So, but they certainly wanted an accent. And who knew what that was? No idea. So, I can imagine that the Native American population in this country, whenever they watched something like that, just got sick to their stomachs.
No dialogue coaches.
For what? I mean, they didn't know what it was either. Who knew what that accent was supposed to be? Why even impose one? That was the thing. But everyone wanted an accent.
It was in what year? Do you recall when you were given the role of Singing in the Rain?
Well, I never remember years. I don't remember the years when I won my awards, believe it or not. All of my awards, don't remember one year. I don't know. You have to tell me. What year was that?
I'll come up with it in a minute. I don't know if I do know that West Side Story was 61, but that's
the only one I remember because the Oscar was for 61. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Okay, so Singing in the Rain was 52. Does that sound right?
Okay.
And how did you get the role?
Singing there, I was a contract player at MGM. I was a starlet there, and that was the last film I did there. And Gene wanted me in the movie.
Gene Kelly.
Yes, yes. Excuse me. I seemed to fit the role for him. It was the role of Zelda Zanders. And for those people who say, who was Zelda Zanders? I had about 4 scenes. She's the one who gives away the secret. The fact that Debbie Reynolds is horrors singing for Jean Hagen. So I had 3 scenes prior to that nasty one. And he put me in a red wig. It never occurred to him to say, no, she's too Latina, or her name is Latina. He just thought I'd be fine for it. And he taught me a little flapper step to do at the post-premiere party scene. And Gene Kelly gave me some choreography. You know, dancing cheek to cheek with somebody and doing a tango. And it was an amazing experience. What a thrill, what a privilege. And then many years later to have him come to me and say, God, you were great in West Side Story. I just about dropped my teeth. To have someone like that, I don't think of myself, for reasons that are a mystery even to me, but I don't think of myself as someone who is ever admired by great people. I don't. Fred Astaire once said to me, I love your work, and I just said, you do? And then I sat down next to him and I said, so tell me, in what ways do you think I'm wonderful? I mean, just please, in every way you can, tell me, because it's past my imagining.
So you did a non-ethnic role for Singin' in the Rain, but then it was right back into
Oh, it was
the
right
ethnic
back.
roles.
It was right back to the ethnic stuff. There were people like Gene Kelly around. I seem to call that the theater sensibility or the New York sensibility, where there were people here and there. Later on, it would be people like Alan Alda and Martin Bregman, who produced The Four Seasons. Alan, with whom I did a play called The Owl and the Pussycat in a non-Hispanic role, who wanted me to play that role in The Four Seasons, the movie we made together. And there are people like that here and there, but even to this day, it's still difficult. It's still difficult.